This is a tutorial on NoodleTools, which is an online citation generator for your works cited and bibliographies for projects and essays that you're working on. So the first step is to set up an account. To do so, you're going to click Log In, which is up here in the right-hand corner. Once you log in, you will see this screen. You're going to need to go to Register. And to get the free account, you will have to click this third option here, which is NoodleTools MLA Lite account. You will need to choose an ID, password, email, enter your initials, and phone number before clicking register. Once you hit register, you will be taken to the project screen. Now, the purpose of this screen is to organize all the different projects that you work on throughout your academic career. So every time you're working on a new project or an essay for a teacher, you're going to want to click this green button up here that says New Project. NoodleTools will then ask you to title the project. You're going to want to give it whatever title is going to help you remember which project it is. So be really specific with it. So I wouldn't just say history project, for example. You want to include additional details. So history project on George Washington. So that way you remember when you go back to access it later, or as you build your collection, you'll need to find a specific history project to get to specific resources. So it's just helpful to be as detailed as possible in this stage. After you create a title for your project that you'll remember, you'll then be taken to the dashboard. And the dashboard is here to keep you organized with your project. You can put in your research question, your thesis. You can even start your paper here and add to-do items. So especially if you're working with a group, you can add on what you're working on here. And every time you go to the project site, you'll just click on it and it will take you to this dashboard, again, keeping you organized. To start generating citations for your project or your bibliography works cited, you're going to click the Sources tab, the third one in right here. Now, every time that you are utilizing information that is not your own, or you're referring to it, you're going to want to add it to your Sources tab. To do so, you're going to click Create New Citation. When you click Create New Citation, NoodleTools will ask you, what is it? Where are you finding it? So the first step is to look at all of the options available and click the one that best fits where you got your information from. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to say I got it from a website. After you do that, NoodleTools will ask you again, what type of website is it? Is it a blog, an audio clip, a podcast, a journal, a magazine, newsletter? I'm going to go with newsletter just to show you what happens after you click on one of these options here. Make sure you go through all of it to pick the one that works best for what your source actually is. It will change what comes next in the sequence of what's required to be entered. So I will click newsletter here. And the great thing about NoodleTools is it will then tell you exactly what you need in order to generate the citation. Anything that has a red star is mandatory. The citation cannot generate until you complete at least the red stars. However, your goal should be to put as much information as you have in these fields here. So go through each one. So name of container website. And let's say I wasn't sure what container website means. NoodleTools is great about giving you examples of what that is. So see if you can find that in there. You're going to want to include the URL, especially for you or even for your classmates or peers if they like what you've cited. Including the URL helps them quickly get to it. So make sure you always include that if possible. Go to the article. Was there an author's name? Include the author's name. I'm just going to make up one to show you what this looks like after it generates a citation. So I'm going to say the author's name was Ann Smith. Article title was How to Use NoodleTools. Pages 1 through 10. The name of the newsletter, I'm going to say it was Library Times. And as you can see, NoodleTools is really great about even telling me that I'm not using proper punctuation when I'm putting in the newsletter for the rules of this citation. So it tells me that the first letter of the word times should most likely be capitalized. So I will go back and fix that. And then you have two options here. You can either save it or save and add with an annotation. An annotation is going to basically be your notes about the source. So especially if you were still in the organizing stage and you didn't know if you were going to use it as your final works cited, but there was information in there you might go back to, you might want to annotate it. You might want to click save and annotate and write the notes for yourself. If you're just trying to create your bibliography or works cited, you can just hit save here. And what that will do is generate the citation for you. So this right here is now a proper citation for MLA. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to switch to a different citation style. So we're in MLA right now, but if your teacher, let's say, is asking for APA, you can very easily switch by going to projects and clicking on style and MLA. Once you do that, you will get 3 additional citation styles to choose from. So you can click APA or Chicago. Let's say my teacher actually wanted this in APA. I'm going to click submit. And once I do that, in the background, although we can't see it, NoodleTools is working on making the citations I already entered in MLA format now APA format. So when I go to my projects page, again, I now have the APA citation as well. So to pull these citations out of NoodleTools, you're going to want to click on this print export. You can print and export to Word, Google Docs. I'm going to show you Google Docs because I know that most of you use that system. So I'm just hitting allow for NoodleTools. And I now have the completed, properly formatted citations in APA format on a Google Doc. Now export it from the NoodleTools site. Okay, if you have any questions about using NoodleTools or how to export files, add additional citations, please feel free to come ask me. I'm here to help you.